That is the plan don't have at this restaurant. So it'd be like
Everything.
Read it in there. It tells you. It goes and tells you all. It's state.
Well, I think there's gonna be one room that's gonna be pretty nice. I mean,
There you go.
high end.
high stuff.
Okay, I make the motion, come out of executive session.
Right. Yeah,
Okay, got a motion to come out by Mr. Bishop.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed to the like sign? All right, super. No action was taken on the record in executive session. For the record in executive session. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to add one other additional side to this, to the additional business. We got Pafford EMS, Greg Pafford, our medical director here. Greg, if I could get you to come up to the microphone and maybe just speak for a few minutes on Pafford's. I know we've been under Pafford's coverage for the last year. Just kind of give us an up-to-date speed. Talk to us about where we're at financially on everything and the position of Pafford where we're at today. So.
Good morning, y'all. It's almost evening.
Yeah.
But we responded to a little over 18,000 responses in Rankin County last year, with a little over 12,000 actual transports. We're running anywhere from 7 to 9 ambulances during peak times, with supervisors running calls during overflow. We met all the response times last year about 10.5 minutes outside in the parish.
County.
In the county, sorry.
Yeah, where he was.
But things are going good. The 6,000 dry runs, that's an issue. When we came in here, we were blind, didn't know how many calls were here during the reporting from the state, the county EOC or whatever. So we've got a year under our belt. Like I said, 6,000 dry runs, that's about a third of what we do that we're not getting reimbursed on. So we have to upstaff, still meet our response times, which at the end of the day, it costs money to provide a good service. So when we came in here a year or so ago, we were asking for $300,000 subsidy. I think if y'all would consider maybe $150,000 would help offset some of that cost of the dry run. If there's anything we can do to improve what we're doing, please let me know. We'll go from there.
And Greg, one thing I wanted to mention to you, the reason and point of asking for the money, just to be clear from the board standpoint, is offsetting the call volume that you're not getting reimbursed to the fund. Without that kind of funding, services in the county could be changed or could be a little different setup on a daily basis. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It could be less ambulances at night. Services would be reduced somewhat.
Sure.
Could be.
Yeah. And we had in our original agreement last year, we were going to evaluate everything, get a base set of the numbers after the first year, and we'd come back and meet and discuss from the future on that same point, right? So.
Yeah, but I thought that we discussed from the beginning, if you had 12,000 calls that you got paid on it, you should be able to break even.
I think it was
And
13.
that was the goal.
I think it was 13.
13 is what we talked about. That was a number.
Okay, 13. And the last report we got from your guy, I thought put us on that number.
Close.
Close. We're still under 12,000 actual transports. And like I said, we've had to add additional equipment, daylight trucks and stuff like that to be able to meet the response.
Why are we unique, or is it just 1 out of 3 make a bogus call and you get there and well, I believe I'm all right?
We've never seen nothing like this, have we, Dr. Mike?
No, it is unique, and I think part of it is just a cultural. I think part of it is just kind of a cultural change. So I mean, some of it may be pretty easy, some of it may be difficult, but some of it wrecked with injuries, and then the police.
I can understand that.
And so we get called for that, or someone's fallen, the fire department gets there and they pick them up and they don't need an ambulance and we get canceled for that. So there's a lot of issues like that. But unfortunately, a truck is on the way. So if that's in a city, it's not so much of an issue. But if it's out in the county, it becomes more of an issue. It's tied of a resource. So I think it's high. That number's high here. And we haven't wrapped our head around that yet, but we've been thinking about
if they don't get in the truck, then you don't get paid?
That's correct, yes, sir.
Golly.
We don't, unfortunately, the only way that CMS pays is based upon transportation. And even more unfortunate that is that the quality of the transportation doesn't matter either. It's just the fact that they get transported.
But, I mean, what kind of expense? You don't have a major expense just going to a call.
Well, you gotta have an
I mean,
extra
if you don't,
Well, you have
but
to
if you
have-
don't have them actually put in the vehicle and use supplies, then, and not get paid on that.
Well, and that brings up a good point. So the way I'd explain to you is the cost of readiness, because an extra truck to be ready, say for instance you cut down to 6 trucks. Well, that's going to spread out the response time everywhere across the entire county, because that 7th truck isn't available. So you would literally have to cut resources. So the cost of readiness in our business is actually the most expensive thing. Not using a couple of supplies on someone will auction. That actually is not much of anything. It's the cost of being ready. Whereas salaries are probably over 50% of what we could, the vehicles there, the insurance is getting paid because it's a reserve. We could even say it's a reserve truck, but 50% of that is salaries for the cost of being ready. And we have to go respond to those. I mean, not all of them are just quick that, okay, well, you're canceled. I mean, some of them we actually get to. Probably a third of the ones we're talking about, we actually get to. That's just a rough number. That we actually get to their house, evaluate them, do stuff, and then they still don't go.
Now, how long have we been under contract now?
A year, a little over a year.
When did we
it's
start?
over. I thought it
Like
was June.
1st of June or
1,
end of
maybe?
June, something like that. June 1st, I think, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I thought we would have a little more, documentation. If you're needing to go up on your cost, wanting us to pay a subsidy, I want to see some numbers, to back this up before I want to give any money, much less $150,000.
All right.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Anyone else? Questions? Bob? Jared?
No.
Steve?
I'm good.
All right.
Just out of curiosity, just
Sure.
out of your constituents, have y'all had any complaints or any issues about the ambulance?
Oh, Lord, yes. No. It has
No, it's been pretty good.
In my
tremendous turnaround.
in my 25 years in fire service in Rankin County and involved with it, it's the best I've ever seen it run. I mean, it's as
I've
good as
not
it's
had
as good as I've ever
one
seen it.
complaint.
So,
And I was getting
in a
complaint
10-minute
week.
response time countywide is amazing.
So I ask this question. Brandon has that truck 1 or whatever they dispatch out immediately to see. Has that helped you guys as far as if they get this, y'all are not needed, don't come?
Yeah, it actually does help, but still the resource has to respond.
Fine.
And it depends on how long they get there and, got to go to bed. By then, we may even be there.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it helps.
So in other words, it doesn't help.
Well,
I mean, that's just what you said.
it's kind of 50-50. It depends on the.
And it helps in the case that if the ambulance is coming from Pearl, both ambulances could be tied up here in Brandon, and, they're there 5 minutes earlier.
Well, and you get an example like, say, last Friday, the county's working 10 calls at the same time. So part of the assistance here is we get trucks to come from other places to help us out. I mean, we're running 10 emergency calls on a Friday at 2 o'clock at the same time.
Well, I'll be honest, the issue I have is 2 weeks ago, or last week, when you first brought us aware of this, the number was 300,000. And now we've dropped 150. So
Right.
where are we at?
And that's just happened to be
seems
the number we
I think
plugged
that's
in.
your fault. I think you're the one who wanted to put these video cameras in this room.
What does that got to do with anything?
Think about it, Jake.
Yeah.
No, I mean, how do you go from, y'all originally were requesting 300,000 a week ago, and now we're at 150.
And
So
that-
either
and
you're
to have
making
that
money or
numbers
you're not.
plugged in
And
there.
I've had to plug something
That-
in.
Yeah, but then
You want
they
to go
all
in the
say,
red?
we'll take 150.
If I was him, I'd go, okay, it's 3.
Kind of like,
One other question. I won't state the obvious here.
I think they understand where I'm coming
If there's
from.
a solution to the dry run calls, that helps
yeah.
bring the cost down. So that's just kind of.
I think that's something we've had for so long. I don't know what the solution
Just
can
seems
be
like
to it.
I don't know how you
Third
can
is
say
high.
had it for so long because there's no ambulance in the county. Even when
You guys need to speak to the issue. I think there's a state statute that regulates med response that basically tells them you have got to do certain things. If you don't, you're committing an act of negligence. They don't have a choice. It's not like we can design a system that says, if you get 4 miles out of the box
Yep.
and we tell you, hey, hold on, that this may not be a big deal, you can go ahead and turn around and go back. They can't follow that policy. They have to follow state law. They have to follow what their med control
Right.
regulations say they have
I
to
heard
follow.
that.
The other thing that stands out in my mind is for so long we paid zero subsidy for ambulance service in the county, and it's been bad. Phones have been lit up, this room's been filled up. You got an hour wait for ambulances and stuff. These guys came in and said, "We're going to fix it," and they fixed it. To where now you got a 10-minute response time. You got no complaints in Florence, Richland, all the way down south.
No, you try. You
So,
don't sell them.
I guess my point is,
Get it
why
out.
in the world would we be crazy enough to go backwards and lower the level of service we just got?
I'm not saying
we're not
that.
talking about doing
Daniel,
that.
we did
We're
take
just
the
discussing.
initiative to bid it out and to get quotes in.
Yeah.
And this is the company we selected, and they're doing us a great job.
Right.
But I just want to make sure that we're doing everything above board, and if you need money, I want to see it. You know?
Absolutely.
You can't drop $150,000 a week, on your request and say that that's legit.
Well, I think y'all can get us some numbers to validate your.
You
your
can also
cost.
tell us who has the most slackers in their district. You know?
No,
If you're
don't do
curious,
that. I'm pretty sure I do. I would probably ring the bell there.
The fire
I don't-
departments have been a good asset, so the crews that work well with the law enforcement, fire departments, it's actually been a good transition for us.
All right.
I got nothing but praise for y'all. Y'all done a great job.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Y'all did great.
Just, I don't want to pay any more money.
Is there any specific numbers I can get for you? Like,
Well, whenever Mr. Carter was here, it was said that y'all would show us where you're making money, where you're losing money, and none of that's come forward.
okay.
But now we have supposed to fund an increase.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank
Appreciate
y'all.
you very much. All right. Anything else under additional business? All good. In motion to recess to the 31st of August.
Up.
Is everybody satisfied with the budget? It has to go to the paper next Monday.
And we talked IT. We agreed to do what we wanted to do there. So okay.
Well, that'll be after we have some personnel changes. Is that it? What are you talking about?
No,
Executive.
I'll tell you. Whatever he said. Not yet, anyway.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But if y'all are satisfied with everything else,
I want to ask a question. A year ago, we said, or 2 years ago, we said we were ready to codify our ordinances. If we want to do that this year, do we have capital outlay enough to pay for it?
well.
Say what? We want to do what?
Capital outlay expense, it would have to come out of, that would be a professional service, and nothing was put in there specifically for that.
What were you talking about? For what?
To codify our ordinances,
Oh,
so we can get them all published online?
right. So yeah, I know. Where can I find that? I hear that. Where can I find this? Where can I find? Yeah.
Jay, that's always something that when, whoever it's decided on that will do that and all, that's something we can always add.
Well, I think it'll probably be around 75,000 maybe.
What did you've been discussing website with the new IT director, or have you?
I told him that we needed to hire a software person. Contract, not, not
Contract something
yeah.
that get done, and
Right.
and then him learn how to maintain
But
it.
he was supposed to get with Michelle and find out exactly what she could and couldn't do, in terms, because, like nightly, we have a lot of updates through the tax collector, tax assessor's office, and Larry's office wanting to come online too and provide more stuff, so, we need somebody that, if that breaks, or if we want to add more components to our website, we need somebody to make that happen.
Without, of course, we don't have a name or anything, but without getting into it, I thought we were going to take a position that will shortly be vacated and use that position to be the person that would do that as well as,
Well, I think the person that's
Sort
going
of
to do
a
that is
dual
going to be
function.
more of a, come in on a full-time basis, be more of someone to just do editing, basic, typing, putting pictures out. But what I'm talking about is actually go in and program and do back-end software so they can pull files from this database and publish it to our website. Somebody we hire to do you know, web
Just
publishing.
to upload and.
Yeah, that's,
correct things
anybody
on.
can do that, pretty much, you know, so. Well, even though we're not getting it done now, or.
That's right. Do we not
very well.
post our agendas and stuff
Was-
online?
yeah, the
Janice does
agendas-
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
the agendas
Do
are
we?
on there. This system, when we got it, was designed for each department to handle their own uploading and everything. And they did one little brief overview, this is how you do it, you know, watching the mouse on the screen, do it, and
If you
nobody's
don't,
done it.
if you don't do that
Nobody-
stuff on a
nobody-
daily basis, you can't retain it.
Yeah,
You know, it sounds good, and it sounded great when Rusty put it out there, but man, if you don't do it on a daily basis, you forget what you're doing. And
I'll be honest, the worst part about all this, two things, you know, we want to be able to put our, you know, facilities online to, if nothing else, to show when they're available.
Right.
And to reserve them, and ultimately would like to be able to pay for them. But, and then also, you know, a big selling point was being able to register with the website to get posted of weather alerts. You get text messages sent to you.
Right.
And that,
That didn't work either.
no.
No.
So,
I think we had it for a while and then it went away.
oh, it's out there, because I've registered for it. I ain't never got a text. I mean, you know, Bob had come in one year wanting us to go with a protocol, I think it's called Red or
Yeah.
something like that. And that did the exact same thing, you know. Well, I was like, man, it's a great tool for us to have. All you got to do is, and we can text everybody about, you know,
Didn't work.
severe weather. Anyway.
The one I get just tells you it's bad weather, and you have no
So-
idea where. It may be up in the northern
How
part
would
of
we
the
pay for
county.
that?
I took that
I
off.
do a budget amendment.
Where would
which
we pull it from? Just
found out.
cash? Okay, all right. Okay.
make a motion, recess on.
All right, a motion by Mr. Marr to
Second.
recess to the 31st.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gaines. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right.
Any opposed, like sign.
All right.
Recess to the 31st.